Here is a simple tutorial on how to create a hand-drawn GIF or animation. And you can see here that this one is it's only got a few different movements that actually happen. When you look at it in how it's initially drawn, the student here has used a template to actually draw the circle equally each time. And the other thing that makes that GIF quite effective is that the last frame here is the frame that would be just before the first frame again. So it creates a nice loop. Another example is this one here. So this is the worksheet you'll be given. So you'll be given frames, okay, and you'll draw each frame separately. And then once you do that, you actually scan it into Photoshop. Okay, so once you put it in the computer, you need to find that file. So you should save it obviously in your digital design folder. So you open it up, you find that file, and here it is in Photoshop. Okay, and what I need to do, I need to actually make these separate layers, okay? So I need to actually select each frame, copy it, and paste it on a new layer. And I'll do this in a new window so I can create a new file, a separate file for my GIF. So I'm going to choose the marquee selection tool, just the rectangular selection tool. I'm going to click just inside the borders so I don't get a bit of a line around my work. So once I've selected that area, you can see the dotted ants there. Control C for copy. And the computer will remember that I've just copied that. So from here, I'm going to create a new document. Control N is the shortcut. I can just go Control N, or I could go File New. Because I've recently pressed copy, the dimensions are actually already predetermined there because it will remember that last thing that I had copied. I'm just going to press OK, and it will come up with the perfect dimensions there of the last item I've copied. Control V to paste it. There is my envelope. Okay, I'm just going to get rid of this background layer now, just so that doesn't get in the way. Yes. Now I'm going to save this straight away. Save as, and I'm going to keep it as a Photoshop file for the moment because we need all the layer information. So give it an item that you will remember. Okay, and save it to your OneDrive. I'm just saving mine to the desktop for demonstration. Okay, so at the moment you can see I've got tabs just like the internet has tabs, Photoshop does. So I'm going to go back to my scan. I'm going to select the next frame. I'm still on my marquee selection tool, so I'm just going to basically click and select the very next frame, trying to avoid the outer boundaries. Control C. Now I simply click on the new document I've created. Now I'm going to press the new layer and then Control V. So now I've got my second frame here. If I turn the little eye off, you can see my previous one there, and turn the eye back on to reveal the current layer that I've just pasted. Let's continue with that process. Copy, new layer, paste. Okay, you get the idea. Once you've got all of those layers pasted in, you can see them here. I can turn the eyes off and you can see each of those layers. Okay, from here you need to color, and we've used a lot of these tools before. You can choose the magic wand tool, the quick selection tool. I'm just going to do a quick color of this face. So clicking in this area, because I've drawn it with a fine liner, so I've got a nice hard edge, it's easy to select that area. And to choose a color, you can, if choose the color custom, change how pale you want it. You can also choose from your swatches over here, okay? Once you've found the color you'd like, you choose the paint bucket tool, and then obviously click in the area you'd like to color. Control D is a quick deselection shortcut, or you can go select, deselect. And same if I wanted to, color part of the mouth. I'll just undo that. Select the mouth. I might this time just choose from the swatches here, paint bucket tool, and drop. And again, Control D to deselect. So that's how you basically color all of your layers, and you'll do that individually for each layer, okay? Once you feel like you've got all your layers colored in, we need to actually turn this into a GIF, and we need to go into, rather than essentials, our motion mode. And you would remember this from previous lessons. We actually click on this clever button here. We want to create a frame animation. The video timeline is different, and in this case, because we've created separate layers, they're separate frames. So we want to make sure we got the create frame animation. You need to click that itself, okay? Now what was just happened here is my very first layer here, layer 6 on the top of my layer palette, has appeared down here in the timeline as the first frame. So what I need to do is make sure all these frames are in there. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to click on this, and I'm going to press new, duplicate the frame, or click on the new frame button. But I want to make sure that this second frame here meets up with this layer. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn off all the other eyes. So I only want this layer here to match with this frame here. And you can see this changed. We'll continue that process. New frame, turn on this eye, turn that one off, and you can see already that instantly changes. Okay. Last one, turn the eye on. Oops, sorry. I needed to make sure I created a new layer first. Here we go. All right, I've got all those frames in motion now. It does look like the order of these, though, it starts at the end rather than, flipping it the other way. So I'm going to go into my menu bar here, and I'm going to press the option reverse frames. Now we've got a playback mode here where we can kind of preview what it looks like. I'm going to press forever just to get a sense of how it flows. And at the moment you can see the timing on each of these is 0 seconds. So essentially each frame will be very, very quick, and it will probably move too quickly. Just to give you an idea, I'll press play. Okay, I'll just press stop. If I change the timing of that, I'll go to select all frames and choose any drop down because it will change all of the frame timing. Try 0.5, half of a second, just to see how that looks. A little bit more manageable. Okay, once you feel like you're happy with your animation, from there you go to saving it just like you've saved other GIFs. Except this time, remember, we don't go to save as, we save for the web. Select GIF 32 dithered, which is generally selected from our last time we did that. Make sure it's looped forever and press save. Make sure you save it to your OneDrive. Okay. As an example of a finished result, you can see it here. And that's how you make a simple hand-drawn animation.